Hey folks, it's Nick. This week we're going to be talking about that this is our last week of the frost. And so part of what we wanted to do with having the demo farm is to give you that kind of week by week, what we're doing, what actually happens on an area where you're growing, and kind of give you some of the real things that actually happen. Before we get to talking about what we've planted this week, I want to just give you a little bit of farm updates and kind of where things are. From an infrastructure standpoint, a couple of weeks ago, we finished up the propagation house. Last weekend, we really prepped our outdoor beds and got the walkways all set up. But what I still need to do is the irrigation. And so I'm not in a giant rush to get a whole lot of stuff in there because we're still working on the infrastructure. We are done with the 30-footer except for putting the plastic on, and I'm holding off on that. We're waiting for electricians to come. We need a bunch of plugs, not only for the ventilation, but for the pumps and some of the aerators, because on half of that, we're doing hydroponics. And so a couple of other things on a personal note, I broke my ribs about 3 weeks ago, so that kind of put me behind on doing some stuff on the farm. And then my daughter's actually getting married this weekend, so I'll be out of town for 4 days. And I'm telling you that because when things happen in real life, that means setbacks happen on my farm and your farm and everybody else's farm. So life kind of throws you some lemons, or you have some life events that you need to be there for. Don't take that as, oh, I'm getting behind on my farm. It's a long season. Everything's just getting started. Thankfully, I've got a lot of years behind me that I know that I can miss a week or two here or there, and it's not going to be the end of the season. This week, we're going to kind of divide stuff on what I'm not going to start this week until I get back, what we have started outside from seed, what we're direct seeding inside, and then what we went ahead and transplanted. I'm going to do that pretty quick. Our crops are very unique and different, and we're at an earlier frost zone than what everybody else is, but this is just a real look at what we're doing here and some of the reasoning behind what we're planting and where we're planting it. Up first, what we're not going to plant. So what I'm avoiding this week in particular are cucumbers, peppers, tomatoes. Yeah, I could start this stuff inside, but because the infrastructure is not ready for how I'm going to grow those crops this year, I will be doing transplants of some peppers, but I will be purchasing those this year. I'm not going to start those from seed because I'm reserving that area for seeds that we're starting for the hydroponics specifically. So we're still 40 degrees or sometimes less in the mornings with a lot of wind, which cools things down even more. And then sometimes we're in the mid 70s, sometimes we're in the low 80s. And so we have this big temperature fluctuation, and that is not good for heat-loving crops. So my pumpkin, my okras, my tomatoes, my gourds, any watermelons, anything that really needs all that heat-loving stuff, to me, it's worth waiting just a little bit of time. Now, one tropical that we are going to try this year that I do have in this hoop house kind of hardening off is some ginger. So we planted that with points up in January, and we've kind of been sprouting that out. This is the week I'm moving that inside of this propagation house before it gets moved into the permaculture beds, kind of the experimental area. And I just think it's a good time. I have got such a long season. It's such a long harvest that even if I mess up and I lose the gamble that I'm doing here, I still have time to replant that if need be. But if not, I should be planting a very well-established, very hardy stand whenever we are able to move that in. Now, let's talk about what we transplanted this week. We did a lot of herbs, a lot of woody stem herbs that I chose to also purchase. I did not have time last season to start that from seed. We had a lot of stuff going on in the studio. We're still very much moving onto the farm. And so we have some great local growers that I've had decades of experience with here that I know I can trust their plants. So for my woody stemmed herbs, thyme, rosemary, oregano, we got those. We transplanted those kind of here and there. We have a little patch on the side, and we have a little patch in the raised beds that we're going to kind of let trellis over and be part of not only the landscape, but the edible landscape. The second thing that we did was we are direct seeding Malabar spinach this week. It's not really a spinach, but it's a heat-loving vine crop that we're going to trellis up on the west side. And one of the reasons I want to do that is to help kind of build not only a privacy shield, but to kind of help direct some of that late afternoon against some of the herbs that we're planting on the other side of that trellis that like the same type of growing conditions. So basil, dill kind of helps with pests and predators from the insect world. And as that vine comes up, it'll shade, and that's a nice little herb and spinach ecosystem that we have going on. And so that's kind of the cap. The next row over, is I needed a very quick crop that I do plan to switch out as those heat-loving crops come on. So I have some Swiss chard that we should grow for about the next month before we switch that over to some of the other succession type of heat-loving plants. And this is just a quick crop. It's going to get roots in the ground on some of those fresh fluffy beds and start building up that soil. The next one over, we have started some herbs. So a stand of parsley, a little bit of basil, and this is the one I plan to do successions of parsley all throughout the course of the season with a little mixed in herbs here and there. The next one over, I'm kind of getting that ready. I just wanted something in the ground, and so we have beets. Again, it's so cold right now that I think I still have enough time to get at least one. They're probably going to be smaller. I'm probably not going to get the full advantage of a long beet season, but I will be able to get something, and especially some greens as we at least get some roots in that soil. So it's not just bare, weeds aren't coming up, and we can help anytime that we plant a vegetable that's going to grow and put out a leaf. That's going to mean less weed pressure as it gets blocked out and overcrowds those weeds. Which brings us to our giant crop that I way over ordered onion sets on. So I have a yellow onion, a white Granex, and then I have a red Creole. The white and the yellow is going to come in the next couple of months, and the red Creole is probably not going to come in until June or July. Now that we have the onions planted, I want to talk about the biggest gamble I'll do this week, and that's planting the potatoes. And I want to talk about this now so people start thinking about it, is if you have seed potatoes, it's not just a, hey, we have seed potatoes, let's get in the ground. We ordered these back in, I think, January. They came in just at the right time. They already had little eyes coming on. But part of the process is setting that in nice light and letting those eyes grow out a little bit. You're not looking for long shoots, you're just looking for little stubs. And yesterday we cut the potatoes into about 2-ounce cubes with a couple of different eyes per cube. And so that's what we're going to be planting either today or tomorrow. I want to go ahead and get these in. When I come back, these should already be sprouted out. And then we're going to be doing videos in which we're talking about hilling the potatoes and harvesting the potatoes. Now on the 10th acre farm, the whole north side is basically nothing but alliums. So onions, leeks, we planted a whole string of leeks. And again, it's probably too late for that, but we're still so cold, I at least plan to get a little something out of that, even if it's just leaves, which I really enjoy. So we'll be able to harvest the garlic, the shallots, the onions that we planted last fall that kind of, again, helps keep something in the ground. And the last thing we transplanted is strawberries. I have an everbearing that I'm putting in the permaculture hoop house. I went ahead and planted them. It's still nice and cool. They like this type of weather. And so we planted that to kind of get that established. The next variety I have is a sequoia, which is a June bearing, which plans to put everything out at the very first part of the summer. I put that in the edible landscape bag. We should be able to harvest some strawberries and then let that just continue to grow. And so next year I'm hoping to kind of overwinter that outside in that bed. And then here and there, we've just kind of sprinkled out a bunch of the flowers that we can do. Bachelor buttons, larkspurs, some cosmos, chamomile, borage for sure. And some of these not only like to germinate in the cold, but like this early season like this, and we got plenty of time for them to come up. They're also going to bring in some of the early pollinators, as right now the monarchs are already starting to move in. We've seen a lot of butterflies out here. As we start to have some of those early flowers, that should give them a nice little spot to go ahead and feed on. This week is more of, we have personal stuff going on. We're recouping from injuries. We're still working on infrastructure, just like everybody else is. And then there's this pressure of, it's nice out, I want to plant. And then you go out and plant the next day, it's like it's cold, did I mess up, did I plant too early? We're feeling that too. And so again, some of these crops we're gambling on, some of them we know that they're gonna go for sure. And some of them we're probably waiting a little bit extra than what we need to. But given everything that we have going on up here, it's the right call because I wanna get some of that irrigation infrastructure in next. That's what we're gonna be working on next week. We're also going to be finishing up the benches and everything for this propagation house. So I would say I'm a couple of weeks behind schedule, but it's a long season, folks. We're also one of the first zones to go ahead and get out of that frost date. This is one of those weeks that sometimes you just need to make decisions and hope you made the right ones and not worry about if you made a mistake. So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.